Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the secrets of the corporate world. Today we're diving into Baker Hughes Company's latest report, and let's just say some very important numbers are about to be revealed. Stick around because this might just tell us where this energy giant is headed. If you like getting straight insights from these filings without the corporate jargon, make sure you are subscribed. And don't forget, we've got a great community discussing these things over on our Discord server linked in the description. Alright, so on the 23rd of October of 2025, Baker Hughes Company Drive opted to report on their financial results for the quarter that ended on the 30th of September of 2025. Now, typically we like to dig into these reports to see exactly what is going on behind the scenes with these big companies. The main thing they've done here is to share a news release announcing their third quarter results. Think of this as the company's official announcement of how they did financially in the last 3 months. Now, this information is important, but the company is saying that for the purposes of some legal filings, it is not going to be considered officially filed yet. That means it is like a preview before the main event. They're also going to have a conference call to talk more about these earnings. This is scheduled for Friday, the 24th of October. Typically, these calls are where analysts and investors try to get more details and ask tough questions. You can usually find the webcast live on the company's investor website. Baker Hughes is a pretty big name in the energy sector. They provide a lot of services and technology for oil and gas companies, and increasingly for companies involved in cleaner energy solutions. So when they report their results, it is a pretty good indicator of the health of the broader energy market. They listed their class of common stock under the ticker symbol BKR on the Nasdaq stock market. This is what most people would think of as their regular stock. It's like the heartbeat of the company's stock market performance. They also have some specific debt instruments like these 5.125% senior notes due 2040. These are essentially loans the company has taken out that they promise to pay back with interest. It is good for investors to see that they're upfront about their debt obligations. Now, let's get to the good stuff, the actual numbers. Even though they furnished a news release, the real story is often in the details of how they frame their performance. They mention that in addition to standard accounting principles, which we call GAAP, they might discuss something called non-GAAP financial measures. This is where things can get a little tricky because companies sometimes use these to make their performance look better than it might appear under standard accounting. They themselves remind us that these non-GAAP measures should be looked at alongside and not instead of the normal GAAP numbers like net income or cash flows. They do say that reconciliations, meaning explanations of how they got from GAAP to non-GAAP numbers, are included in the news release, since the specifics of the financial tables aren't directly presented in this filing itself, but rather in the reference news release we have to infer based on the context of an 8K filing focused on results of operations. Companies typically use these types of reports to announce earnings, and the key information will be about their revenue, profits, and any significant changes in their business operations. For an energy services company like Baker Hughes, we'd be looking for how much revenue they generated from their various segments, perhaps oilfield services, industrial energy technology, or low-carbon energy. We'd also want to see if their profits are growing or shrinking, and what is driving those changes. Are their costs going up, or are they bringing in more money per project? This section is all about how the company performed. When they announce their financial results, people want to know if they made more money than before or less. They might have seen an increase in revenue because demand for their services went up, perhaps due to higher oil prices or more drilling activity, or maybe their revenue dropped because of lower energy prices or decreased demand. The key is to see the direction they are moving in. Are they showing growth, or are they facing headwinds? This item is about ensuring that all investors have access to the same important information at the same time. By issuing a press release and filing this report, they are making sure that everyone from the big Wall Street funds to individual investors gets the same news about their performance simultaneously. This is to prevent any unfair advantage for a select few. So, the absolute core of this filing is that news release announcing their third quarter results. What we'd be looking for inside that release are the big numbers. Did their revenue increase or decrease compared to the same quarter last year? For instance, if they reported a 10% increase in revenue, that might translate to bringing in significantly more money, which is generally a positive sign for the company's operations and its ability to generate future profits. Conversely, a significant drop in revenue would raise concerns about their market position and the overall health of the energy sector they serve. Wednesday also scrutinized their net income or earnings per share to understand their profitability. Are they able to turn their revenue into actual profit, or are costs eating away at their earnings? For a company in the cyclical energy industry, understanding these trends is crucial. For example, if they are reporting strong earnings, It suggests they are managing costs effectively and capitalizing on market opportunities. If earnings are down, it could signal challenges like rising operational expenses, competitive pressures, or a downturn in energy demand. This last exhibit is essentially the digital packaging for the financial data. It is an interactive data file that allows computers to easily read and process the information. It's like the standardized format that makes it easy for regulators and analysts to crunch the numbers without having to manually re-enter everything. It's a modern way for companies to present their financial picture in a machine-readable format. Now, looking at Baker Hughes' situation here, this filing mainly points us to their earnings announcement. Without seeing the actual numbers from that news release, it is hard to give a definitive opinion. However, the mere fact that they're reporting and holding a conference call means they are actively communicating their financial performance to the market. In the energy sector, performance can be heavily influenced by global commodity prices and geopolitical events. If they're reporting strong results, it suggests they've navigated these complexities well. If the results are weak, it might indicate that they are facing headwinds from fluctuating oil and gas prices, or perhaps increased competition. A key risk for any energy company is the transition to renewable energy. How Baker Hughes is positioning itself in that transition, whether through investments in new technologies or by diversifying its services, is a crucial long-term indicator of their direction. Are they leaning into the future or holding on to the past? So, what is my take based on what we've seen here? This filing is primarily a signal that financial results are out and will be discussed. The real insight will come from dissecting that news release. We need to see the numbers for revenue and profit to understand if Baker Hughes is truly thriving or just treading water in a dynamic energy market. Keep an eye on how they discuss their investments in cleaner energy solutions, as that is likely a major part of their strategy moving forward. A company that successfully pivots to new energy sources will likely see sustainable growth. Alright, that is our look at this Baker Hughes company filing. What are your thoughts on their latest results and what do you think it means for the future of the company? Drop your opinions in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, please give this video a like and subscribe to Corporate Decoder for more insights into the financial world. And don't forget to join the conversation on our Discord server. Link in the description. Thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next Decode.